Hello, welcome to another episode of the Post Plan podcast brought to you by Bitcoin Casino.vip. Today's guest is Freya Spiers, and we're looking forward to having you on, Freya, because I think we've had all casters recently. It's nice to have a little change up and get a host, interviewer, documentary filmmaker. How are you doing,
I'm
Freya?
doing excellent. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for inviting me on. This major's been a bit of a whirlwind. I feel like it's
Yeah.
gone by really fast. So
Simultaneously, it's also gone by very slow. I was sitting downstairs with Connor. I was like, we've only been here for 1 week, and it feels like we've been here almost like a month, but we've gone through many
there's been
stages of the
so
tournament,
many
Henry.
games.
I,
Yeah.
I think so. It's because the games have been so long as well. I feel like every series has gone 3 maps at the same time. So they've been like very long days with lots of Counter-Strike A and B streams stacked up each and every day. So yeah, it feels like it's been a lot longer than it has been. But
Yeah.
now we've got to the real meat and potatoes of the major, guys. This is what the major really starts for me. 16 teams remaining. This is where it really gets going. Are you feeling that now?
Yes, 100%. No, I'm so excited to see Vitality, Furia, Spirit, Falcons, like all the
The
big
big
names
dogs.
coming in.
Mhm.
It's going to be so good.
This is when it really starts to feel like a major. I
Yeah.
think the first two stage, especially with the longer major these days, I feel like the first stage it just feels very weak. Like we were talking about that in the last episode, Henry. The level of CS was not
I
great.
liked I liked Sponge's rant about the every game in stage one should be best of ones that don't deserve to be here. Because the quality was so bad. And I tend to agree, like the quality of CS in stage one was pretty woeful, but it was exciting. Stage two is much better. But yeah, I'm actually super excited now. Like, I've been watching almost every single game to the best of my ability of the A and B stream, but now I'm actually like super excited to see like the big names arriving. We got players like Zoe, we got Donks coming in, we got Desertions, everyone like who's going to be stepping up and putting on a show. This is
Mm.
where things get exciting, and this is where the kind of major debutants, the rookies, will really be tested against the really big names.
No, we're here in the StarLadder Major in Budapest, 2025, Freya. But let's cast our minds back to your first major. Was it the London Major in
Yes,
2018?
London 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, were you there?
I was there. Yes, I
Let's
was.
go.
Were
I
you
was in
both
production.
Babbies then? Were you opening your first event? Is that one?
Our first event actually was the same event. I think Freya was the ECS season
That's
ECS,
the
five
one I'm
same
finals.
thinking of.
venue.
Okay, that's
Same
what I'm
Yeah,
thinking
venue.
of. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
earlier
yeah.
that year. But yeah, that was a good time. So you actually won a competition as well,
I
or
didn't actually win.
oh, you didn't
Didn't
win?
actually win. You know who won? It was Boaster.
I was gonna
Boaster won
say.
the
That's kind of worked out for
competition.
both of you.
I know,
Yeah.
right? It's crazy. Yeah, it was like make a video, go to Cancun, right? It was like
Yeah,
ECS
that's
season
right. He
four.
won the. Yeah, I remember. I did an interview with him
Yeah,
in Cancun. I did one in the
yeah.
hot tub with him.
Did you? Yeah, you did the hot tub interview. Oh my
Yeah,
god, he was
that's
ahead of his
right.
time. He was ahead of his time. Yeah. So there was only like maybe 10, 15 entrants to this competition because it was like you got to make a
Mm.
video, convince us, like show us why you are the super fan to go and because there wasn't an audience there, so that was what you were meant to be like showing the whole experience to the fans back
Yeah.
at home, like the players. I feel like I had so many stories from that event where the players were just like, this was so sick to end out the year, basically all inclusive resort. You could
Mm.
only imagine what was happening there. Didn't actually win, but a guy called Jas, who actually still works for EFG, he was a product manager at FACEIT, DM'd me and was like, hey, do you want to do some voiceovers? And I'd never done that before. I was
Mm.
like, yeah, fuck it. Why not? And then I turned into, do you want to do interviews? And then do you want to do stage hosting at ECS? Which was really lucky because, well, lucky, unlucky. At the time, I think ECS was actually owned by YouTube. So they only broadcast on YouTube, and Smix worked for Twitch at the time.
Oh,
So she couldn't work the event. So they were like, oh shit, what do we do for a stage host?
okay.
Let's get this girl. I was fucking nervous, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, it was, yeah. I can't watch it back. I can't watch the
Me
first one
neither.
back.
Can't
Is
do
that
that.
is that the one with Zywoo going? I don't know. I don't know. Is it that one?
Let's pretend it's that one. Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it's
Let's
not
that
even that
was.
pretend
one.
it's that
It's
one.
not even that
No,
one. Okay,
no,
my
No,
bad.
that was the major, Henry. That was the
Oh,
face.
okay. I'm getting the two conflicted. Okay, I see.
Yeah, so ECS season five. Yeah, that was also my first event. I won the caster competition of Hawka.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Right.
it was
Okay.
good. I kind of Fro's older than me, but it was like I came in. I definitely felt like a very little
How
kid.
old were you then?
17, I
That's
think.
insane.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So yeah, it
Damn.
was nice to have a fellow sort of competition runner up.
Yeah, yeah.
There, so that was good. And now we're both here at the major. It's kind of crazy. Those
Let's
work,
go.
and it's good that the Smix thing worked out for you because it's very. I think that's really what it takes to break into the scene nowadays.
Mm.
Is like there needs to be some sort of situation that lends itself to needing someone that they otherwise wouldn't hire. Did you have anything like that, Henry, when you were starting?
Yeah, no, that literally almost that. Considering Fifth Lauren and Smix are married, when PGL was in its like fledgling days, Fifth Lauren was supposed to be casting with Sadakis back in the day for the first PGL season. Fifth Lauren couldn't make it, and he recommended me. And that's like I hadn't even commentated before. He just said I'd be good at it. So Fifth Lauren put me forward for that job, and yeah, here we are. So it's sort of like a competition in a way. I won Robin's heart, and he got me over there. So yeah, just to note as well, you mentioned Jas, Freya. I used to work with him in my first job as an event manager post uni in
NJ, right?
2010. Yeah, NJ Live.
Yeah.
I worked with him for a long time, so it's just like so funny, and that's where Sliggy also worked as well. And then loads of people from CS actually started at NJ Live. It's kind of insane, actually.
That's crazy. Small world.
Yeah, very small world. I wanted to ask you, Fred, like if CS never happened, what was your plan for a career otherwise? Like what were you studying for? What was your plan going forward as a job, do you think?
So I went to school for English, which is just like basically tell me that you don't know what you want to do without telling me you don't
yeah,
know
like
what you
English
wanna do.
literature or
Yeah, literature and language was kind of
Okay.
like maybe I'll become a teacher. Like I used to teach swimming, kind of vibed with the whole idea of helping kids.
Mhm.
But then I don't know, I was kind of thinking like maybe like journalism, publishing, something like that, something sort of creative. But it was kind of weird because like during my uni days, I had this group of friends I played CS with. Like we started on Xbox and then somebody transitioned over to PC.
no
and then
Counter-Strike Xbox, though,
Counter-Strike.
just to be clear.
No, just to
Okay.
be clear, no
Yeah.
No one played
Counter-Strike on
Okay.
the Xbox.
No,
Yeah.
just
It
wanted to
was
clarify.
Call of Duty, Halo, that sort
Yeah.
of thing. And then yeah, my friendship group kind of slowly transitioned over to PC, and then we go to events like Gamescom. Discovered CS like as an esport at
Mhm.
Gamescom. Like stumbled upon the 2014 major by total accident. I was actually queuing up for a Halo event, but
Dude.
the line was too long, so they said, "Oh, you might want to go check this other thing out whilst you wait. Like we'll hold your position in the queue," which ended up being the CS major. Never came back to the Halo event.
Which major?
2014.
2014.
Yeah.
Okay.
When it was in like just so there's obviously Lancaster, like the big arena, but next door to it there's a massive convention center called Colmess, and it was in there, and it was just in this like little pokey booth, maybe like 250, 300 people there.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And kind of spawning from that, I was like, well, why don't I like start trying to do some interviews or like write feature pieces, like really low level stuff. But yeah, like applying for press passes. Actually, ECS was like the first place that I applied, and they said yes. And they were like, "Come to the media day. You have access to all these players." And I was like, "Nah, no way. Like, really? You see my website? Like, it's nothing. It's nothing." And yeah, that kind of it was. It didn't seem like a viable like career. It was just a nice hobby on the side. I was like, okay, maybe I can use this as a portfolio to try and go to like an actual publishing firm, like like typical kind of like magazines. Obviously they're not super lucrative now, and yeah, then this kind of actual legit esports job accidentally fell in my lap, so I kind of didn't really have too much of a plan. I was kind of just going with whatever came my way, kind of burying my head in the sand a little bit of like, okay, what is like life goal? But turned out pretty well.
Yeah, and then there's a great bit of lore. You went to the 2015 Cologne Major as well, right?
Yes.
Like in the Lanxess. So it was the first one you cast at Henry.
I did the final there,
yeah,
which is insane.
No way.
So
Yeah.
there's great lore when you're watching the B-roll footage at ESL on the break. You can actually see young Freya in the crowd. It's I love that. It's so
Do I have,
funny
like,
every
the
time it comes out.
clappers
It's Freya,
and-
it's Freya in the background. So make sure when next time you're watching that, guys at home, look out for Freya in the crowd. So yeah, obviously you get to do ECS. You do a good job there, obviously, and then you come back for the major. How did that feel? Like getting to do the FACEIT major.
Right, it didn't feel real. So
Yeah.
obviously back then it was the minors, and then you had I want to say like a month break, and then it was challengers.
There
Legends,
was actually a long break
playoffs.
between
It was a
them.
real because
Yeah.
that was when they had that DreamHack event in Stockholm where fucking North won.
Yeah.
MSL got the MVP.
Dude, that was weird how
so
much of a
weird.
gap between the minors and the major there was.
Yeah. So I came on board for the minors, did interviews with Parla actually at the time, which was like he was so good to be around because it was like just be yourself, like find your niche. He was really chill. Really, really fun guy to do. Like we didn't do like skits like the ESL skit level, but it was like fun little cold opens, those sort of things. And then we had that month break where actually at the time, Mike, who is still at EFG, but he was like head of content then, he was like, "Do you want to go with Tom Newman and film these player profiles?" Which was Stewie and Rops. I couldn't make the Rops one because I was actually graduating uni at the time, so I needed to go do that. But the Stewie one, they were filming in Stockholm at that DreamHack event, so ended up going with them to that. And then literally he was like, "Okay, book your flight back to London and come back to Twickenham for the Challengers." I was like, "Okay." So went to Challengers, then stayed for Legends, and he was like, "Okay, cool." And then you come into playoffs next week. So it was like a really weird. Like I didn't really feel like I deserved to be there because, in all truth, I didn't have the portfolio of work. But it was nice how they were kind of taking it like one step at a time. Like, okay, let's like
You
see if
passed
she
like
can
every
do this.
test on the way.
Exactly. Yeah.
In that way,
Yeah.
you did deserve it. They did, maybe there's other. I don't even know if there's other people out there really.
Yeah. I'm trying to
Like
think who was around at the time.
it did, and you did a good job every step of the way, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. No, it was really like I'll give them a lot of like credit of like letting me in kind of gently. Like it felt like there was a really kind of baptism by fire, like the stage hosting at ECS, but they didn't like push me too much. I think that can be one thing if you have like a new talent coming
Yeah.
on like onto the
Stage hosting is terrifying prospect.
yeah.
I wouldn't even want to do it now. Have you done it since then? I can't recall you doing stage hosting after
I did
that.
it like one more time for PGL in Stockholm in
Okay.
2021, and that was like really
Oh,
last
that
minute.
was a
Like got a
huge,
DM.
huge
Yeah,
arena too.
yeah. Jesus, I was so scared. with
First
that.
major back after the pandemic
Oh
as
my
well.
god, yeah, and it was so last minute as well. Which don't regret doing it, but there were definitely better people for the job. Like I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy the pressure, particularly when you're out there on your own. And
Yeah, I think I would choke it. I
gotta
think
fill.
I'd be having a meltdown on there.
Yeah.
I suppose like do you feel like now like you're considered like I guess the queen of the desk, you're always doing the desk hosting role. What do you prefer though? Do you prefer doing the interviews and getting stuck in and kind of getting more out of players, or do you prefer being on the desk? Like where do you see your kind of bread and butter going forward? Like what do you
I do like having the mixture. I do like
Yeah,
having the mixture. Yeah, it's nice to do. Like, obviously, we have Pro League where like everything's way more chill and relaxed.
exactly,
It's
yeah.
nice to have that kind of vibe. Doing the Cologne Grand Final this year was like that was insane, and
Yeah,
the
right.
overall as well. That's like pinch me moment. I think I do like having the mixture. Because it kind of keeps you on your toes, right? And sometimes when like you're on the desk and you don't get like players coming up, it does
Mhm.
feel a little bit weird to talk about them without actually speaking to them in person, right? Like I'm talking about this person that I haven't spoken to in 6-9 months. So I think it is important to have the mixture
Yeah, and I
of
think
both.
people enjoy the fact that they can get you as a host and an interviewer, like as fans. I think you do a really good job in both. So I think people do enjoy that
Thank you.
variety. You mentioned about the documentary side of things early on in your career, but you've moved more into doing that on a bigger scale, Freya. You've become more involved in editorial over the years. How have you enjoyed that?
Yeah, no, it's so much fun. No, I've been really lucky to do. Obviously, started off with the kind of just helping out with the Stewie and Rops profiles.
Hmm.
But last year we got to do a proper profile on Twists, which is amazing. Like went back to his hometown in Kelowna. Got to meet Ocean, which was
Wow.
and he was wonderful. He was so funny. And then we did the same thing for Shuey as well, but Shuey is kind of split between Poland and Northern Ireland.
Yo, Henry, she went to Northern Ireland. Can you believe it?
Was it
Crazy.
Belfast or
No, it was like just outside of Derry, a really
okay?
tiny little town. Shui
Nice.
didn't come with us because he was boot camping, but it was basically myself and a camera operator went to his parents' house
That
and
did
did
blow my
that.
mind. I didn't know that lore about him until that documentary came out, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Holy, it makes sense now." You can kind of hear it in his voice, but I had zero idea. And then I looked him up, and he was like coming like a runner-up in like Northern Irish lands and stuff like
Dude,
that. He wasn't
he
even winning them.
first LAN I casted, Shui was playing at. Like
That's
it was at an
crazy.
old university building that literally closed
Yeah,
down the next year. Like we were all
he
just
wasn't
sitting
even winning them. And now look
there.
at
Yeah,
him.
he wasn't even winning them. No, but he was so young. Like his team, one of his teammates, his dad had to come and stand behind them, and like we weren't allowed to come to the event alone and stuff. It was probably for the best. There was some characters at that LAN. But yeah, obviously that was the one and only he came to. He immediately went and realized it can't be around these people, and went and played in Poland instead. So yeah, that was definitely interesting. So in
Yeah.
terms of how did that transition happen, Freya? In terms of you taking more of responsibility in
So
the profile department.
it was kind of like when I first started out with FACEIT, I was just freelancing. And because the year that I started out, usually FACEIT only had kind of 2 events a year, and that was
Mhm.
ECS, and the majority was online. It was from Santa Monica, and it was kind of just I think, Henry, you did some of that, right?
I did
Like
a
it
few of those
was
seasons. They were actually pretty wicked. That was a good
yeah,
time. Yeah,
nice
that
office in
wasn't bad
Santa
at all.
Monica.
Yeah.
It seemed cool. But it wasn't really like they needed a host for that. Like there was James Dan, and they'd get kind of like somebody else to come and help them fill time between games and then do like more chill commentary. And kind of after the major, which is obviously fortunate they had that, we went into another season of ECS, and then that ended. And they kind of came forward and were like, do you want to should we do this on a more like full-time basis, and then you can
Right.
help us out with like bigger content ideas. So that was really fortunate. And then obviously the merge with FACEIT ESL happened, and that's obviously become like a lot more streamlined recently. So I kind of work with a guy called Frank, who we're obviously all familiar with. Frank is now my like boss, I guess, manager. And he's like, people don't know about Frank on the internet.
He's the goat,
Frank
though.
doesn't want people to know about him on the
Yeah.
internet, but he's like the goat of all the skits you see
Yeah.
on ESL
Mhm.
broadcast. That's his like mastery. He does like some insane openers, all the stage elements. Like he's really, really cool, creative guy. So that was like really appealing to be like, okay, if I want to be a kind of more part of the content team, having him to kind of guide the way it's really cool. Yeah, it worked out really well.
Yeah, Freya, it sounds like you've kind of done everything quite early on in your career. Like, what's next? Like, where would you like to go at this point? You've done everything, it sounds like, in terms of hosting, interviews, and now content. Is there anything left in your career you'd like to achieve in
I always
esports at
find this
least?
question really hard because it's
Yeah, I
like
know.
it
It's
makes me
actually, I'm not trying to
sound
be like flattering,
yeah
but it's just like you've done everything, it feels like.
yeah it makes me sound complacent if I'm like, no, I just want to keep doing
No, I
this.
think
Yeah,
it's fair. I think it's a job too. It'd be nice to have some
Yeah.
stability and job security. I think when you look at sports and traditional sports, you have the same host for years and the same
Mm.
commentators for years. It's not like you always have to keep changing up and leveling up. And obviously, the broadcast itself will level up and being part of more bigger broadcasts, more money, more spectators. I mean, that's the goal, really. And if you can help grow that product, I guess that your
Yeah.
job isn't the same. It isn't stagnant. It's ever growing because the product's growing.
Yeah, exactly. No, I want to make sure that Counter-Strike can live on and get bigger and better forever. And I think that's something people have asked me, like, oh, people always used to ask me, would you ever become like a weather woman? Would you ever like host the news or anything like that? I'm
okay.
like, no, I'm not
Move from
doing
this
this.
exciting young
Yeah,
industry into doing the weather on the local
yeah.
I
news
guess
station.
other esports have approached you though. Like, have any other games tried to poach you at any time?
Valorant asked me like when they were starting the scene, like when the
Right.
whole
Yeah.
VCT circuit came out initially, and I did talk to them a little bit, but I was pretty honest with them. I was like, I only play like in terms of multiplayer games, I only play Counter Strike. I kind
Yeah.
of only do care about Counter Strike,
Yes.
which like might sound really deep,
But how
but
big's the bag?
Yeah.
yo, I hear the Valorant bag pretty big.
No, same.
Yeah, even Shock said like, would you come and do any like League of Legends stuff? Which obviously Alex Machine, he's done that. He's done an insane job with that. He went and did Dota and stuff. But I think why he's so good at it is like he's very open about like, okay, I'm here to learn. Like you can't go into that and pretend that you know what you're talking
Exactly,
about.
yeah.
You don't, right? And I think we're just so full on with Counter Strike as well. I don't see
True.
the need to like, I don't know, maybe one day I'll try something new and learn something and come back. But yeah, I don't know. It's the Counter Strike that it's not being in front of the camera that gets me going. It's the Counter Strike that kind of
Yeah. I mean,
drives
Nice.
me.
Good answer.
this game, we just got so many tournaments, and the circuit just keep growing. It's like you don't even have time really to follow anything else. It's hard to even have your own personal life on the side sometimes. But I guess we can get into talking about the major itself, because what we've seen
Yes.
so far, I think yesterday we had some really good games in terms of the decider matches. We had Astralis Liquid was a game I was doing. Henry, did you catch that one? I mean, there wasn't much to catch.
Yeah, that's when Liquid has kind of body bagged them, right? It kind of
Yeah.
felt like Nuke again, the T sides for Astralis. It felt like EPL all over again. Couldn't get going on the T side of Nuke. This begs the question why we keep seeing them on it. Like the T sides for Astralis have looked pretty shit this
Right.
event. I'll be honest with you. I was very disappointed again. I feel bad for them because you could see in the losers interview like how like pissed off like Hooksy was. Like they haven't had roster stability this time. like losing Stown and having to bring in Majors. Like Majors has been fine, but that's all he's been really. It felt like the team has just been so up and down. Sure, they've had a pretty reasonable year in terms of getting a couple of finals in there, but it feels like the fact they even made it to stage 2 of the major, I guess that's an achievement in its own right, considering we haven't seen Astralis there in so long. Nice to see Liquid playing good again, but still, like, yeah, the Nuke was pretty underwhelming. Mirage a little bit more exciting, but it's nice to see, I suppose, Liquid actually playing good CS and Ultimate showing up. Like, he actually was very good, I thought.
Yeah, and then like to contrast that, where the hell was Device? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like that was so sad.
That is rough,
That's
isn't it?
sad
What?
watching
Where
him.
is my goat? He was my CS
Yeah.
goat, and yeah, he kind of fell off. And I'm not sure what this means for Astralis going forward. Like, it definitely begs the question: like, is it worth keeping this roster together? Like, if we're just going to keep having these middling results, like the
Can
biggest
they keep it
the
together?
biggest headline this time was like we made the major. Is that good enough? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if that was even the biggest headline. I think the biggest headline was they're not paying their players. Like,
True. Okay. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah,
yeah,
true.
yeah.
During the game that
Yeah,
came
as
out,
well.
as well, I was like, oh my god.
I forgot
I
about
know.
that. I thought it was like this hearsay. Is that actually like any
No,
truth
legit,
to these
like-
rumors?
Legit, and then obviously at the wall of shame at the end,
Oh,
where all the losers line up immediately after they get eliminated. You could hear Hooksy like saying to Banks in the interview, was like, well, it's pretty hard to play and hard to come in and go form with everything that's going on.
yeah.
And I mean, he's just openly kind of talking about that. So
Yeah.
I think obviously that's going to be looming over.
That's what he meant by everything that's going on. I thought he meant the whole.
That's what I
like,
interpret it as.
I thought he
but
meant the whole Stown situation. Like, oh, we had lost him a few months ago. I thought that's what he
Yeah.
meant.
could be,
Probably
but
a bit
Okay.
mixture of
maybe
both.
I'd say
Yeah.
all of that is
Yeah.
probably not
It's a
not
lot.
ideal.
It's a lot to deal with.
But yeah, it was weird, casting that game and then standing in the casting set, which is right in front of that losers interview wall.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you just kind of, I looked over and you just see Device like go to this game, like Magis can Device major winner, major winners just standing there, just standing at the ground, despondent. I mean, yeah, it's a sad state of
I
affairs.
don't know.
for-
Like, at this point, you got to ask yourself, like, Device, he's an expensive player to keep in your roster. Does he even have the star power anymore to justify paying him however much he costs? When it feels like with his health issues as well, he's having to miss events and big games this year. I don't know. It just feels like, yeah, it's not really, their magic's kind of dwindling away. And I felt like he tried to find some longevity. Well, that's kind of him trying to be the in-game leader at one point. I think that was an idea to try and prolong his career, as it were. But it feels like now his individual form, if he's getting owned by Ultimate, like as badly as he did, like that's
yeah,
pretty shocking. Like he didn't even turn up.
yeah, it was really rough to see him watch. There was also a cool rumor yesterday that came out, was the fact that 100 Thieves have apparently signed a player that was eliminated yesterday,
Yes.
and we were kind of theory crafting who that might be.
Eliminated yesterday.
Yeah,
So who's that? Like
So either
NIP,
from Astralis,
NIP,
or
Tyloo.
or M80.
M80.
Yeah,
Yeah,
M80.
M80.
So I think it's more
Right.
likely. We had some people. I know I was talking with a couple of the guys in the talent team, and we were like, "Oh, theory crafting, who could it be?" I think one of the best options that came out was Stare. I think
that's a good
that'd be a
one.
pretty good pickup for 100 Thieves. People don't think that M80 have been any of those players have been selected. I think the only one worth picking out would probably be Lake.
Lake, yeah.
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 Which they could go with if they want an
I
American
mean,
player.
Graham Petty said himself they're not focusing on NA talent. Not to say it wouldn't happen, but it felt like
Yeah.
they're going for more of a European squad. And it makes
Yeah.
more
It's
sense
either-
when you're trying to build a new team.
I think it'll probably be Kaspersky from NIP or Stare. I think those are the two best options. for
Okay.
NIP.
Pretty good options. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was this, I missed this rumor. Was this on Twitter or something? Or was it on HLTV? How official is this?
It was. I think it was on Twitter. So
Okay.
it would be interesting to see.
Because
if
it was
comes
like
out.
they'd said, okay, there's a player that's going to be going to 100 Thieves in the major right now, and
Yeah.
then it was
Okay.
eliminated yesterday. Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
dwindling the pool down a little bit. I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that would be
Stare
interesting.
would be fun.
Yeah.
That would be really fun.
I think Stare would be
Yeah.
good. I think he deserves it. as
Okay,
well.
Astralis are dead though. If they lose Stare, he's the only player that's really turning up
exactly.
consistently. He's their number one player right now. Like if they
Yeah.
lose him, just call the project over. I think they sell the players off.
Well,
It's
we
done-
could
it's
also
done
do
so.
that maybe with this current version of Aurora because they got eliminated as well, and
Yikes.
they look really dire in this
Mm.
competition.
Oh, we thought they were going to bounce back after that Bucharest victory, but it felt like that was just like prolonging the inevitable. They're back to their losing ways. Again, it feels like Major and these big games and the pressure's on, the team crumbles on their T sides. The fact they lost to Astralis, right, like, and didn't even make it to the final stage. Were they up 2-0 at the start as well? Or did they go 1-1? They were
1-1.
1-1, yeah.
Stays in the best
But
of
like, this is
five.
a team like they should be in the conversation for like semi-finals at the major. We've seen them do it before. Like they should be like making deep runs, making it a stage 3 at the very least, and crashing out in this sort of fashion and losing to Astralis as well. This Astralis, guys, come on! Like, how many times can we choke like so many key rounds and important games? And like, this is the best roster they could ask for. The pieces are fantastic. You got young guns in there, veterans who are finding some amazing form. Zantares picked up his first MVP recently. Like, what more needs to come together for this team to actually start performing and show us they can do it, and to lose to Astralis as well? I feel like this is the last time you'll see Aurora in this current iteration. I think changes will have to be made after this very disappointing season. Sure, a trophy was in the mix there, but I think the second half of the year for them has been such a disaster. They're going to have to make somewhat of a change going into 2026.
Yeah, I think that one of the main people criticizes Major. I think
Yeah.
some of the T sides look very weak, and I think individually his form isn't great. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Are we happy with what you've seen from Aurora this season, Freya? I mean, across, because you got to see the Blast tournaments earlier in the year, and
Yeah, it felt like it feels so cruel because like first half of the year they tendered everything.
Yeah.
So like given that they missed out on playoffs at Austin at the Blast Major, we were kind of like, okay, maybe they're fatigued, maybe like it was the wrong call to go to all the events, and then you come into the second half of the year where they take some off, and then they do worse here. It's
Yeah.
like, hold up, how
after
how's-
winning an
how's this
event
happening?
finally,
No,
it's like
exactly. It just felt very readable. Like all the games they were playing in stage 2, it felt like, okay, like we've seen this Aurora before. Like, when are you going to bring the flare? Like, when's it going to change? Oh no, now it's ended. Game's over. You lost. Like, it felt very predictable, which is such a shame because you'd think, okay, now they have a little bit more time, maybe a little bit more time to kind of boot camp. Might be some new ideas flowing, but yeah, you could see it in Maj's face during that elimination interview. It was like he just felt so frustrated, and I get it, because when you have players like Zantares and Woxic and Wikadia as well, like Wikadia was crying in the booths. That was like insane. So yeah, I don't know, not super. It's crazy to think beginning of the year, Blast Bounty, like the massive name they made for themselves by making it to the grand final, and then like, oh, could you end on a more sour note?
Yeah, it's pretty
really.
sad to see them end like this. I mean, the other pressure is they're representing Turkey too, right? And when you're representing a whole country, especially with very passionate fans, it can be quite heavy when you have disappointing results. I think for Aurora as well, it's just the fact that I think they're an emotionally fragile team. I think they're just one of the most emotionally fragile teams that we've got in Counter Strike at the top level. And so when things start going badly, I don't think they can pull themselves out of a hole necessarily, Henry. And we get to see just the tilt really visible on the player count.
Yeah, and I think you're dead on. I think that's it. I think they lose their mentor, they lose their bottle when it matters most, and that's not a team that's going to win championships. And you've got these great pieces, and you've had so much time now that there's no real excuse for this level of play going on this stage of the tournament. I don't think there's any justifiable reason you can actually bring to the table there. And yeah, I think this roster might be done, and I think Major unfortunately has to go. I feel like they're going to have to kind of find a new in-game leader and build around that.
Yeah. Well, FlyQuest found a new coach coming into this major circuit. Azur's back, but 3-0 through stage 1, Freya. We're like the boys, and then 0-3 second stage.
It's so typical FlyQuest, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it really
Give you
is.
something to believe in. You're like, yes, okay, it's finally working.
I put them 3-0 in
shit,
this stage because
Did
I was just
you?
like, screw it, let's ride the high.
Are you one of those people that puts the 3-0 pick'em like crazy bold prediction, or are you
No.
actually playing for the 3-0?
I'm playing for the 3-0 because I
Really?
looked at FlyQuest versus Navi, and I don't like what I've seen from Navi this year. I really like what I've seen from Navi in stage 2 of this tournament, though. They look really good. But I thought there's a world in which FlyQuest right in from stage 1, warmed up in the they've.
I think we said that on the last podcast as well. I think we were saying like they're going to make it to stage 3. They keep this level of play up, but that was the problem. FACEIT in stage 1, he looked like one of the world's best players. He was number 1 rated in that whole stage, and then went down from number 1 statistically to literally number 0 in the second stage. Like, that was the main issue for me, like how he just had this complete drop off, like the edge of a cliff from number 1 player to dead last in stage 2. Like, how does that happen? Like, it was great for FlyQuest to even get to stage 2. I think that's above and beyond expectations. Like, the fact they even made it here was like a bit of a hurdle, but like the way they crashed out in such spectacular fashion, good God, I don't know really what happened there.
Well, they played 3 Brazilian teams in stage 1, and that was a point that I really failed to think about. Then they were
okay, yeah, I didn't consider that factor either.
Yeah, FACEIT farmed some Brazilian teams, and then they went to stage 2 and they did not farm. They got farmed. And there wasn't much of a crop, Freya. It
Oh.
was disappointing.
No, it was very disappointing. Seeing Chad's face as well.
Yeah.
It's given so much hope.
Yeah, he was, and he was. I've never heard Chad sound as genuinely excited. Like he's casting his flight quest games. It was actually coming together. The boys are doing it. But yeah, back to reality and
The
stage.
boys were not doing it.
Turns out they did not do it. Some positives absolutely from stage 2 though. Navi seemed to be back, so that's good. FaZe 3-0, dude. FaZe were so shit in that first stage. I was like, what is happening here? And they're 3-0 through stage 2.
I remember last episode, I think I even said, like, it's actually, I think, a problem they get through to stage 2 is the team looked so bad. I feel like they needed to crash out in stage 1 to make changes. Then, of course, they turn it all around. Everything's fine. They absolutely wallop everyone in this stage of the tournament. It seems like everything's back on track. They could be even into a shout of, like, semi-finals, maybe a grand final. Who knows? They're looking so razor sharp right now. And just great wins. Like, this actually looked so dominant throughout the entire tournament. Like, 3-0 after their disastrous stage 1. Carrigan even looked amazing. Jacob turned his career around in one stage of the tournament. Jacob was looking like one of the best players in the tournament as well. I don't know how he did that, but that was very impressive. So I wanted to give Jacob a massive shout out for his level he was displaying in stage 2.
Is he the real deal, Dinko? Is he the real deal now?
Launders has become his fan. I think that's the big difference, right? He's
Okay.
actually got someone out there batting for him in the public, Henry. Launders has started getting his fans behind Jacob.
Oh,
and I like
really?
that.
Okay, good for him. He deserves it. Like, he's in a rough spot. Like, there's nothing he could do. Like, he can only play to his ability, right? He hasn't played tier 1 CS before, and jumping into the grave of rain is a very difficult prospect, and you're going to have so much pressure around you. And we've seen some glimmers of him when he first joined. We saw some maps that were really impressive, but then some really woeful ones as well. I think he just seemed really fired up and locked the fuck in for this stage of the tournament, and it shows. Like, his mechanics are fantastic. Like, you give him an inch, he'll take a mile. If he gets the opportunity to find the headshot, like, his aim is so good. And now he has the confidence, and Carrigan finding a bit of form as well. It was Carrigan finding the entries most of the time as well. Like, Carrigan was just throwing himself in the bomb sites, finding a kill for once, like, which we did not see in stage 1. And it gave a bit of space to Jacob to actually show us what he's made of. And I think that was the key difference. And it felt like confidence was flowing again. And who knows, like, after seeing that turnaround, maybe they could go even further. Maybe they can make it all the way to the playoffs and show us what they're made of.
Would you believe in that, Freya? A FaZe playoffs. We've seen it before.
We have seen it before, but have we not been in this situation before where it's like, oh my god, FaZe just like completely blow our expectations out of the water, they're back, and then it turns out they're actually not back. So maybe I don't know, man. I don't trust FaZe. I don't trust them.
That's fair enough.
I don't trust them.
They have broken our trust.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very emotionally inconsistent, and we need some consistency and stability from FaZe, and maybe we'll get that in stage 3.
Who are they playing in stage 3?
Opening game.
Is it Vitality?
Let me grab it up.
I've got you. Yeah, Vitality.
Yeah.
Yikes. Okay, it's over. Sorry.
No,
For
I don't know.
Vitality?
You don't
over
remember
for
Vitality opening games of majors sometimes can be a little bit
Yeah,
left to
best
be
of ones.
desired.
True.
Best
I
of
remember it. Even their opening.
They haven't played in this environment. FaZe have had 2 weeks now in that kind of room, that stage. Like, maybe there's something to be said there. I don't know.
Maybe. Probably not, though.
Probably
No way.
not. But
No way.
We'll wait and
No
see.
way.
But yeah, let's move on to stage 3 then, and let's talk about who we think might go 3-0. I'm picking FaZe 3-0. I'll do
you
it.
can't do it again, Dink.
I'll do it.
You're not
I'm
doing the
doing it.
fly quest again, are you?
Yes.
You're calling the
FaZe-
romance of the
FaZe-
previous stage.
FaZe are my flight quest for stage 3. If they win it
Okay.
versus Vitality, they can beat anyone.
Okay, let me look at the opening games. We've got to be reasonable here. So Furia, who are they playing first? Navi. Okay, that's a really important best of 1. Furia, Navi. That might decide who goes. I think Navi are looking so good.
How
right
are
now.
these opening games?
Because Navi weren't massively highly seeded, right? They just look really good right now in this tournament. But
Yeah, but
Furia
it's crazy, isn't it? Like, we have
yeah,
Furia, Navi, Vitality, FaZe.
it's good. This is the real major now, Dinko. Lock in.
Yeah, it's actually really exciting. And they're all best of 1s. That's depressing. But that means we can't get these games in BO3s.
Do you know what? My sleeper pick for 3-0 is going to be G2. I don't think anyone's really considering them, but they've got Passion UA as their opening game. I think that will be a great springboard for them to find playoffs pretty early on. I feel like in terms of their firepower, there's not many teams that have them beat, like Hunter as the in-game leader as well. I'm really enjoying Heavy God's output. I think that Sampais is finally finding some form as well. I feel like that's a sleeper pick for 3-0. I feel like a lot of people won't be talking about them to make it in that spot, but I honestly feel like they've got They've got the time now. They've got the motivation. They showed us they could do it in London. And sure, it's been a couple of crap events since then. But you look back to Chengdu, who else? They lost to Furia and Vitality, right? And if those are the two teams you're just about losing to, I remember they were super tight games like 13-11s and 16-14s and stuff. If that's how they're losing to the potential champions of this major, I feel like G2, after a little bit more time and adjustment, I feel like they could actually be a real strong potential for 3-0. So that's who I'm going to go for.
I like that. He's kind of
Yeah.
sold me on
A
G2
bold
as well.
prediction. Yeah, no,
yeah.
and to be fair, like even that G2 Vitality game in Chengdu, like I don't believe Hunter was playing. Like he had a medical leave, and it was still
Even better. Even proves my point even more. Then that's
Yeah.
amazing. I forgot
Oh,
that
maybe I'm
factor.
buying
Yeah.
GT stocks now. Maybe I'm buying them. Is
Yeah.
that just because of the Passion UA first game? Is
I
that-
think so. I think that's just a great way to start off the campaign, you know, get some
True.
confidence. They're definitely winning that game. Like Passion UA, like just happy to be here, I think. Struggled to get like into this stage. Like fair play they did. Took down Little Brothers, M80. That's cool, but like they ain't touching G2. G2, this is
Passion
their
USA.
major.
I mean, it's the
True.
first time that JT's been able to progress at a major. That was a cool storyline from
That's
yesterday.
wild.
You know,
Yeah,
he
very
started
cool.
deeper in majors, etc., but he's never been able to actually just lead his team into the next stage. So that was good to see. Yeah, have you got anybody else who you would put in 3-0 category, or are you
These are
going with either
really
FaZe or
hard.
G2?
Yeah, these are really hard games. Like it's pretty mental that you've got. Yeah. Oh man, I feel like I don't want to say people are sleeping on Vitality because that seems like an overstretch. But like obviously with Furia winning a couple of events coming into this makes sense that they're the favorite. But I think Vitality are locked in. I
Okay.
think 3-0, easy peasy, dispatch of phase, job done.
That probably is the more reasonable choice for sure. Vitality going 3-0. So, all right.
Well, we're allowed two of them in the pick'ems, right? So
Yeah,
it's
with
good to
it.
speculate. We could say
Yeah.
maybe G2 Vitality. Maybe those are the two picks.
Or Falcons.
Okay, now then, no one's mentioned the Falcons. Maybe we are
What about
sleeping on the
Bait?
Falcons. To
Oh,
be
am I
fair.
allowed to say bad things about Bait, or is that gonna?
You're going to be
get
called the
me?
worst host in esports, Freya, if
Dio's
you do
coming
that.
for me. He's coming
Yeah.
for me. Falcons. Actually, that's a more interesting.
Okay,
pick,
so your
maybe.
2-0s are Vitality Falcons.
Vitality Falcons.
Okay, I like that. And Henry, yours is G2.
I'll go G2 Vitality.
All right, I'll do Falcons FaZe.
Okay.
All right, there we go. So we'll do O3s now as well. For me, it's gonna be
now then,
Pain Gaming, Imperial.
dude, Pain Gaming. Explain. Come on, they got to the semifinals last major. Their
Well-
T-sides are bad right now. I'll give you that, but I feel like they always do well at this stage of the tournament.
Well, the thing about Pain is I've just seen them so often, and I think the change of Snow having more impactful roles, it definitely made their T sides look better. But I just feel like they are just not a great team in general at this level. Like coming into stage 3, I would have loved to have seen Pain get some warm up and like
Yeah.
some officials under the belt.
Yeah.
Like early stages, they're not a team that's coming in stage 3 form. You know, they got to play against 3D Max. I actually think that's a game they're going to
It's
be
doable.
yeah, it's definitely doable. So it is risky to pick them 0-3, but I feel like 3D Max just playing in the earlier stages going to get the job done there. I just don't think Pain Gaming are going to have enough to get the job done against the bigger squads unless they end up like a Passion or something. But I'll take the risk and go with Pain. I think the other team I'm going to put 0-3 has to be Imperial. I think that the run is going to end surely. That
Yeah, and the
Imperial
Mongols
showed us.
opening game as well. Well, I guess.
You know, I was about to say Mongols. I don't think they're doing much this major.
Yeah.
So I think the
yeah.
0-3 is actually harder than
This
3-0.
is really hard. How are we feeling about, like, obviously we love the whole Jame redemption arc. Love that for him. But is this where it ends? Is this where it's
Okay, yeah, we didn't
over?
mention that. Fair enough. That was amazing. Like the fact that VP have to sit on the sidelines and James is now in stage 3 of the tournament with 4 rookies.
I love it.
That's
Nuts.
unbelievable. Like, it,
Wow.
of course, every map's overtime and it takes all 3 maps and it's a fucking nightmare to watch. But
Dude, I cast
made
their
it.
overpass, Henry. He
Yeah.
went B 12 rounds in a row on T
Yeah.
side.
Why not?
Literally went B 12
If it
times.
works, if it
He loves
works.
And he won.
Right.
So
Yeah,
he's
I feel like
versus Mouse.
they're the group
yeah,
stage
I feel
champions,
like
Henry.
yeah. The thing is, like Mouse won't be winning this major, but they are group stage gods. Like they will be.
It depends if Mouse are playing in the B
Okay, that's
stream
another
room.
team we didn't consider for the 3-0. Mouse are group stage.
Hey,
gods.
Henry.
Go on.
Mouse will play in the B stream room. Yes, they're
Okay.
gonna win. Mouse play on the stage on the A stream.
It's
Maybe they lose.
Okay, yeah. All right. I didn't consider that.
There's
Fact,
a little bit
yeah.
of the crowd, and the crowd is gonna get bigger because the better
No,
teams.
it's not. I don't think it's a stage that phases them. It's just like the pressure in terms of the stakes and the grandiose of the game, like in terms of like what's available, like taking down your rival's vitality at the grand final. I don't think it's the actual physical stage that does it to them. It's when the stakes
I
are
don't know.
high.
Yeah, that's fair because they did beat Vitality and Clone, and then they lost to Spirit with a dead team. So earlier this year, so maybe
Spirit could be a dead team after this major, to be honest. I feel like they are looking pretty shit themselves. I feel like tactically they're off. Donk doesn't look his best. Zwei has looked very average, if you even call it that. Spirit, like Shiro's been good, but I feel like Donk is going to have to go above and beyond for them to do well at this major. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I feel like Spirit have looked terrible since Pro League. Like it's pretty sad because we had Tanier come in. I thought, okay, this is exciting. You win Cologne with the other roster, and you're like, okay, adding Tanier in, he's an upgrade in terms of skill, but it hasn't clicked yet, Freya. It hasn't been quite the balance we've been looking for.
And he's the vibes guy. Like genuinely, I feel like Spirit have looked happy.
Yeah.
But they're not actually doing anything, which is
I'd rather them look kind of Zontic's levels of depression and still winning.
Yeah, no, true. That's a horrible trade-off to have to choose from. What? Oh, they play Liquid. Okay. Ooh.
I actually feel like Liquid could win that.
I think Liquid will win it. Yeah, I feel like Liquid are back.
Ultimate's back.
Recency bias, Stinko. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Ultimate is back, but I don't know. Shiro or Ultimate? Like, come on.
Yeah, I think Liquid's map pool rather is a little weak. I think the Mirage looks quite uncomfortable, even though it's a map that they keep wanting to pick or bring into these series. So if it falls to like Mirage or an Ancient, I think Spirit should have a really good shot at winning it. But I feel like Liquid coming in warmed up at least, and going down to the final day, they had a most amount of games. They started 0-2, got all these BO3s. You're feeling confident after a win versus Astralis. There is a world in which they get that done versus Spirit, and that's why 0-3s are so hard to pick. So, but we have to do it. So I'm going with Pain Gaming and Imperial.
Ouch.
Freya, you go next. I don't know where I'm at right now.
Is it really mean to say Paravision will be in there? Is that
all? No, it's not mean. That's just objective fact at this point. Yeah, I feel like they have 4 rookies who are lucky to be here.
Yeah, no, they just love being in top 16. Sorry, James, understand. Really respect you. I don't want to go for Pain or 3D Max because I think that is like such a coin flip. So I guess I will join you with Imperial.
Okay.
Do you want to be risky, Henry, and go Mongols?
Maybe I'm going to say Passion UA for sure because they're opening game against G2. I'm going to back myself up in this whole G2 situation. Passion UA as one of them. And you know what? Let's do it. Let's ride. I'll say the Mongols. I say this is going to be an absolute calamity major from them. I feel like they are going to fall apart, and we're going to see why they need Senzu. And yeah, maybe with the best of ones, I think the pressure will be on. They'll find themselves in a difficult best of 3. And I feel like, yeah, let's go with Mongols 0-3. Just because I don't necessarily think that's true, but what they've seen from the majors so far, I think there's a strong chance it could happen, the best of ones, and some of the upsets and surprises we've seen so far.
Yeah, do it for the content, Henry. Do it for the content. All right, we move on to our last segment of the show. We call this one Counter Stock.
The best one, in a way.
In a way, yeah, some say. I prefer the kind of first segment, but let's get into the last segment. The counter stocks, you have buy, sell, and hold, Freya. Okay. So it's just like stocks. You buy something you like, sell something you hate, and hold something you think might have an upside. So is there anything in a Counter-Strike world, a topic or a player you think is a good thing or something that's bad?
Surely it's James, Freya.
Anything.
Yeah, anything.
Yeah. Can we sell best of ones?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, yes.
Get rid of best of ones, please. We finally get a best of 5 for the grand finals. Thank God. Can we just get rid of the best of
Do you think there's a certain romance to a best of 1 though in a Swiss format? Like in terms of the pressure and the emotions and what it does to people, I kind of enjoy them. Just as I hate watching sometimes.
Play 2 best of 1s in a day kind of vibe. That's the double whammy of that. I do hate that. I hate that the drop off that you do see some teams have. Like obviously, it's good for some underdogs, it's good for some upsets, but it's the major. Come on.
I think like what Chad said, like stage 1 should just be best of 1s. If you haven't played good enough this year to make it a stage 2, you've got to play in this brutal format. And I think it's just like an absolute bonanza for the spectators. I think there is something about best of 1s that sure, we're not going to find out the absolute best teams going through, but in terms of excitement and a spectacle, I feel like best of 1s have their place there. Yeah, that's I was just saying.
I think there's a more reasonable option. We keep it how it is for stage 1, and we change it with stage 2. Like we get all BO3s from stage 2
Yeah,
onwards.
exactly. I think that's a nice compromise, and we
Yeah.
get the fireworks of stage 1 best of ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you
Okay,
still have
I'm into
BO3 for
that.
progression elimination in stage 1. And it at least keeps it a little bit shorter because I think if you make BO3s you can't play the 2 BO3s.
No, you can't have the like whole 5 BO3 potential
Yeah.
for some teams. No, that would be yeah. No, okay, I can co-sign on that.
Yeah.
Some best of ones, but
S-
not all
Okay,
the time.
so you're kind of half selling it. You're gonna hold on to some of
Yeah.
it, but you're selling most of your bag.
Is that what you do? Are you allowed to do that?
You can
Sell a
do
little
whatever
bit.
you want,
You
really.
can sell.
Yeah.
I guess we can reframe it.
Sell
Sell
some of
stage
them.
2 and 3.
Or you could hold it. You could be holding it as
Okay.
well. There is buy, sell, and hold. I guess you could move it to
Perfect.
hold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
We've just taken Freya on a journey, Henry.
Yeah, it's normally happens.
Yeah. So what about you, Henry?
Oh, let's have a think. Who am I liking right now? Who am I going to be buying? I know I'll go with G2. You know, for the reasons I stated before, I feel like this is the time for us to see an underdog, as it were, someone who's not really spoken about at this stage. I feel like buy G2 stock now because going into the playoffs, I think they're going to be way too expensive to capitalize upon to get in your portfolio. I feel like Hunter is going to have an absolute masterclass here in Budapest. I feel like the team's going to come together. Saw is going to be pulling all the strings from behind there, and I feel like some Pius is going to show us that he still is a top tier AWPer. So it's between James and G2 right now for me in the buy category. I don't think I can be buying more James stock because I think it's topped out. And I like it's we're loving it. We're loving what we're seeing, but I feel like this is the time to sell James stock. So I think I'm going to have to buy G2 right now while it's relatively low.
Right.
But yeah, just as a side note, don't buy any more James. I think it's at the top right now.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you, and I'm going to hold James.
No way, dude.
Hold James and
Don't
Dash.
hold it now. It's an all-time high.
No. That's why, because it's going to go higher another time, Henry.
To the moon?
Yeah, it's going to the moon, and he's going with Dastan, and they're going to do it together once again. This is with 4 rookies, and this is what they're doing. I mean, obviously, he's going to attract better players, and people are going to want to go. I'd say, you're looking if those players in VP, like the good ones, Flit and Fame, they haven't been good recently. They're probably missing James. You're missing your boy over there.
I would imagine
And
so.
I think James and Dastan have once again proven that they could take any of the talent members from any of that region, and you want to play under James. And I think there's gotta be, just with the amount of sick players that have come out of Russia or Kazakhstan.
Just a note on VP as well right now. They've just changed their coach, haven't they? Like they're making a change every week in that.
I don't care about
roster,
Virtus
it
at all.
Yeah, I know, right?
I couldn't give a shit what they do. Like, I don't care. Like, no matter who they bring in and employ, it's not gonna work. Like, we've learned that. Like, they've brought so many players in and just they actually. This is how stupid this is. They had Dastan and James,
Yeah.
and they brought Electronic in, and they let Electronic usurp the in-game leader throne,
That's insane.
kill another team, and then go, I don't want an in-game lead. Bring in Perfecto, who's been for a year, and like, all right, I'm gonna leave now. We're gonna kick Electronic, and Perfecto, you're gonna in-game lead. So you got rid of James and Dastan, brought in like 4 different coaches, none of them did anything, and then had Electronic kill another team, and then ended up with Perfecto as your in-game
So you're
leader.
not buying VP stock, is what you're saying?
No, I don't even think it should be on the market.
Oh, okay, delisted. Okay.
Yeah, delisted completely. I think that's fair. But
I always like to get VP in the podcast somehow.
Yeah,
that's good to know. I agree with you. Like, what an absolute shit show that is. There's going to be a lot of teams rebuilding after this major. I think they'll definitely be one of them. And I guess, like I said, I think like Astralis for me and Aurora, they're the ones that you're probably going to see different rosters. But I think Rostermania is going to be coming real quick after this major.
I'm excited for 100 Thieves. Like, I like the whole.
Yes.
Everyone's just excited. They're back. They've got Rain. Like, it's immediately a likable team.
What do we actually know? Because there's a lot of rumors. A lot of people saying.
got-
We know
stuff.
Rain's there.
We know
Messi is
Rain's
there. And
there.
Sean
We've got
Garrett.
Rain, Sean Gares,
Yeah.
Graham Pitt, the GOAT.
And they got money.
Oh, apparently Glaive has been rumored to go as per HLTV.
We got that coming in live from our.
He'd be a coach though, right? He wouldn't be a player. Yeah, that would. Make
Yeah,
sense.
as a coach.
Yeah.
Well,
I
that's
was
what
going
we
to say. He's
talked
not going to
about.
just come back and say, you know what, boys, I am back. Yeah,
We
that'd
talked
be.
about that in the last episode, Henry. About Glaive being rumored to be the coach of 100 Thieves, and we thought it was a pretty good idea. What do you think, Freya?
Yeah, I'd like that. I'd like that a lot. I think Glaive. It's been really funny to see just like that old Astralis roster and like what they've done, what they've moved on to do. Clearly, Device not doing amazing things. Lovely to have Dupree on the desk. Lovely to see him like have his retirement. But for Glaive, it was like, man, that ENTS project. back in Cado. I remember
Yeah.
us all being like, okay, maybe there's potential. Glaive somehow with a Polish
He
roster.
brought
This
Polish
is
player
crazy.
for the first time in 8 years back into the
Yeah.
spotlight.
And it's clear, like it's really clear that like he's still hungry for it, but it's like at what point do you choose to go, okay, I'm stepping away from like actually playing, right? I'm very, very intrigued to see how he does. Like obviously what opportunities come as a coach. But I do ask Dupree when I work with him at Blast, like how much do you chat to the older Astralis guys? Like what kind of relationships do you have? He's like closest with Zipex. But I'd be really curious, like does Glaive go and like have a bit of a chat with Zonic and go like, okay, tell me like TLDR, what does it take to be like the coach, you know? Yeah, I don't know. I'm very curious. Obviously what pieces he has to work with as well.
I think it makes a lot of sense. Like the fact that going into that coaching, it's not like Taz going into that role after like 2 years of kind of not really playing. Glaive is not playing tier 1 CS this year, but he's playing meta CS, playing competitive tier 2 CS. So he's going to have a very good mind for the game. He's played alongside some of the best coaches and players in the world. And I feel like, yeah, this is a great project to get on the ground floor when you've got a great foundation, like we said, at the management and with Rain there as well, to be able to influence the signings going forward as well. What an amazing opportunity for Glaive, like getting out at the right time, it seems, retiring. Like, sure, I would say he retired a year too late, in my opinion, but it actually worked out perfectly for him to get his foot in the door at this project instead of signing for like a kind of like, I don't know, like a bait or something like that, or I don't know, like what a tier 2 or tier 3 team. Like he's actually got himself in like one of the best organizations in the world. The money's going to be good. The resources are there, and it's going to have great PR around it as well. I feel like this is
Hey,
an
they might
amazing
even
step
have
for him.
real PR over that, Henry. They might even get him.
True. I like what you did there. Yeah, there's
Ooh.
rumors like the Gamer Legion. We didn't even mention Gamer Legion, I suppose, weren't relevant in this stage. But yeah, the fact that they were rumored to be picking up that core. Have we heard anything since then about that?
So I haven't heard anything recently about that.
No.
But if that is to be the case, and we also think about that rumor that they've had a signed player be eliminated yesterday, then that would to me signal that it has to be Rain in-game leading, because if you're picking up a player here and the 3 from Gamer Legion, then there is no in-game leader in those. So it would have to either be an in-game leader yesterday. I'm thinking about who would be a good in-game leader yesterday.
Hooksy?
Hoaxy. Yo.
Hooksy.
Yo.
Snappy.
No, I don't want Snappy. Don't give me
Hooksy?
Snappy.
I
But
don't want
Hoaxy.
Snappy either.
Hoaxy's actually not a bad shout, Henry.
I don't think they would necessarily go for him. Where's his stock at right now? Like he's done some okay things this year with Astralis. Like he's had a bit of a whirlwind year, couple of finals, couple of shit events overall. But yeah, I think he has brought Astralis back to life. Is he the man for that job? Maybe. Like maybe he needs a new project and get away from the Danish scene, because I don't know. It seems like there's always constantly just like fighting an uphill battle, like always exhausted, always some bullshit going on. Maybe he does need a
Yeah.
fresh start. I don't know. But when did he join Astralis? I'm not sure where his contract would be at right
It
now.
was
Like a
around
year
May.
ago?
It was around May.
Okay. So he would have a pretty hefty buyout if that's the case. I don't know what kind of contracts they signed, considering Astralis org's kind of all over the place right now,
Yeah.
and they're not even
Would they
paying
even
their players. Like,
if you don't pay, then I don't think the contract is actually enforceable.
yeah, it's null and void at
Yeah.
that point for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So there is a world in which he does get to go. That'd be, I like that for you.
That'd be
I think you
crazy.
brought up a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, Connor's been really trying to stand for his boy Stanislaw. Like he wants him to be the in-game leader of 100
It's
Thieves.
true.
What do you think of that?
God.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Mm.
I'm not really.
If you
Why-
need
why-
someone for
why
the
do
first
you
year,
want-
maybe. I don't think he should be like the foundation of the team like Rain.
Yeah.
Rain,
It's
he
because
knows
Connor's
super
Canadian and
stable.
he loves Stanislaw.
Right. Okay. This is all
Yeah.
starting to make sense.
And
Yeah.
he likes what they did with Wildcard.
Yeah. I mean, it's not bad. I don't know. Now I've just got this Hooksy idea in my head, and I'm like, yeah, that would be sick.
Yeah, Hooksy actually would be a good idea. I think we can all agree that we don't want Ray in the in-game lead. Like, I think it's a
No,
good idea.
no.
Like, I think he came out of phase and he didn't know how many offers he would get. And saying that you want to be an in-game leader just gives you more options. But I think now he's got this 100 Thieves. Like, he's still got more in him just as a player. And I think it would be great to see an actual in-game leader go to the 100 Thieves organization. And they've got money. Like, the buyouts, it doesn't matter either, Like, if they want someone, they can just buy it. They've got, I'm not really.
They've got more money than you can believe over there
Yeah.
right now. They are rolling in the gambling cash. Nate Shot hooked them up.
Yeah.
Like, so they've got money for days, and that's not going to be a problem for the buyouts.
So I think that's the most exciting thing coming out of the major. But what are you looking forward to in general, Freya? I think, more traveling than most other of the talent members in terms of you go to the event, you go to the countries a little bit early, you go to
Yeah.
cool places.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite trip this year?
Oh my god, that's such a good question. What have I done this year? We did what we started off with. I do this thing where like I count my countries. I'd
Yeah.
like to have visited more countries than I am years old. And I think I'm
Oh,
on like 44 at the moment. So I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. Hong Kong was obviously a new one this year. Hungary is a new one. It's really nice here.
oh, it is.
It's
Yeah.
really nice here. Yeah. I mean, Austin was great. We did a little road trip between Dallas and Austin. So went up to like through New Mexico. Not much going on there.
hmm
Into
That's why they
Colorado.
chose that to keep the atomic bomb a little
Yeah,
secret.
yo,
Not much going on
okay.
there.
We tried to go. This is going to make me sound so stupid. We tried to go visit it because it is like a pin on Google Maps,
hmm
and you see people's reviews and like, yeah, man, it's really cool. You can go up to it. It's only open one day a year, so we drove like 5 hours out of the way to try and visit the site.
Well, you can
Wasn't
always say you
open.
tried.
Yeah,
And imagine it was that one day, Freya.
yeah,
How
man.
destined you would have been. You would have felt like Oppenheimer himself if you were able to get with that one day. But yeah,
Yeah, that road trip was probably the best. Went up
yeah,
to Colorado, went to Utah, did like the Arches National Park, drove back, went to the major. That was very fun.
nice.
That was very fun.
Yeah,
Are you guys doing media day today? Is that a thing?
I am.
Could you give us a little snippet what you'll be up to, Dinko?
I
What's your
will be
plan?
asking. I will be given a sheet of questions, and
Oh,
I
you're
will
doing that thing, like
and I
saying,
will
like,
not
what
be
is your
allowed.
secret talent? Is it that
Yeah,
sort of thing?
I will not be allowed to divert from those questions. So I will be sitting there for 5 hours asking the same questions over and over again.
Do you know what teams you have?
Nope.
Okay, it's a mystery.
Well, I
That's
do. I just
exciting.
haven't. I have
Oh.
actually not just. I just haven't checked the document yet. But I'm second half of the day. Pimp is taking the first half.
Nice.
So yeah,
That's
that's
pretty
all
good, though. I guess that's like, it sucks you can't do your own questions, but the fact when they're just written down for you, you just got to read them out. That's fine. You're just like, you know what? I just need to
If
turn
I'm
up,
just a
read this
vessel
thing.
to transport the questions off the page to the player, I don't mind.
I mean,
Being
you're not even on camera. I feel like there's someone else could be doing that. Even the cameraman could just do that. But yeah, I guess it's fine.
hey,
Like,
you know what? They pay me, Henry. And
no,
so
exactly. I was going to say,
I'm
like,
really happy to go there.
don't mention that to them. I was like, the fact that you just see your arm, and I don't think you even hear what they have that subtitles coming to see your arm there. That's it.
I might pay someone off the street a little bit of cash on the side for you. I think it's a good idea.
Hey, don't incriminate
Let, let's
yourself on camera.
let's go find some
Dinko.
Hungarian. That's what we're gonna go do. But that's it for another episode of the Post Plan Podcast. Thank you very much, Freya, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Hopefully we'll have you back some point as well. But this
Freya, have you
episode,
got any podcasts yourself need to plug?
oh,
Anything you're promoting right now?
I do infrequently do a podcast called Time Capsule.
yeah,
Would you like to come on it, Dinko? I
yes,
should probably
I'm
revamp
down.
it. Let's
Yeah,
go. Yeah.
I'd happily
Okay.
do it. Yeah.
New episode of Time Capsule may be coming some point.
There
some
we
point
go.
soon. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, there we go. This episode, as always, brought to you by Bitcoin Casino.vip. And we'll be coming back with another episode in the not too distant future. We'll be talking about stage 3, setting up the playoffs, and all that exciting stuff here in Budapest. So make sure to join us then.